Hello, boys and girls. Today our focus is going to be on spring, and a perfect sign of spring is the birds that are being born in their little nests. So boys and girls, today we're going to think about creating a bird from one piece of clay without tearing pieces off. It's going to stay into one piece. All right. Now you never want to over roll clay because it dries out so much that it'll create cracks. So I'm going to give you a piece of clay and we're going to just press it in our hands and roll it for a moment. Probably, 15 seconds or so. You can see that this one has a little bit of a line in it. So I'm going to try to smooth it out. Okay. You can see the shape I made. Now the clay I'm giving you is different from what I'm working with. What I'm working with is not a fire clay. You're going to be using a fire clay. So mine is cracking more than yours will, which is too bad. So what I'd like you to do is kind of create the body just with a couple little rolls and using your hands to model the clay. Now, as you can see, my clay is cracked a bit, so I'm just moving my finger over here to smooth it back together. Okay, I'm going to make a head just by kind of squeezing on the top of this oval type of shape and try to form a circular head. All right, and here we go. So we've got the head of the bird and the body of the bird just with this very simple piece of clay. Now I'd like to show the tail. So birds have a tail, so you're just going to put a little more pressure on the end and taper it down. And there we go. I'm going to pull a little bit. It's just basically with your hands, pushing and pulling. This is called modeling when you're not using tools yet. You're modeling, you're moving the clay around. I'm trying to give this bird a nice little tail. Tail feather, I should say. They don't quite have a tail like other animals. Now I can see that this head is so big, it's flopping down. This little bird has a big head. Okay. And I've got the tail. I'm not kind of happy with this side. I see a crack here. I can come around and squirt a little water through a spray bottle on your clay, but I don't want to do that too much because then the clay gets very muddy. Okay, so here's the head and the tail. And I'm trying to pull, I can push and pull on this clay. I'm trying to get her head up a little bit higher. There we go. Oh my gosh, this little bird. I could break off some of this clay so its head isn't so ginormous. Okay, but you know, it's working out all right. Here's his little head. Now you can see mine is cracking. Yours won't crack that easily. And after you have the head formed, the tail, you can turn it to the side and kind of pinch and pull where those side wings would be. I'm not going to pull too much off because I want this one to be a one piece. I'm not really happy with the size of this guy's head, so I'm going to break off a piece. Oh, sorry. I'm going to try to make it a little smaller. We can't reattach this. Once you've pulled this off, if you don't have something called slurry, which is basically glue for clay, it won't reattach. It'll fall off. But I just wanted my head to get a little smaller. Okay, here's his head. And I'm trying to smooth out the little dent I made here. I could give you a little driplet of water. Maybe I'll spray it on. And here we go. Head, tail feathers, slimmer around the neck, slimmer around the tail, and of course we want a beak. Now I'm going to make this like a smaller little bird that might live in your yard, not like a toucan or anything with a huge beak, but if that's the body shape you end up with, I say go for it. Okay, so I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to go a little bit of a pinch from the side and a little pinch from the top, and not too hard. If you're pinching too much clay, you can just pinch the extra piece and let it flop off. And there we've got a little beak. We've got the head. We've got a neck. We have the space where we're going to have the two wings. We're going to draw those in with detail. We've got the tail. It's got a charming little face. And voila. Extra clay I'll recollect because I can use that again. And I'm going to give you possibly a couple little clay tools, or even your pencil might work just perfectly. Pencil is actually a great tool for clay. Now when you cut into clay, it's called incising. Or if you cut into anything, actually, it's called incising. So I'm going to cut into the beak. Sorry if this camera isn't picking it up so well. I should put a nicer camera up. Beak. And don't worry if it looks dirty here. I can paint over this later. And I'd like to give an eye on the side. And I could put a little design around its eye. And an eye on the opposite side. And I'm going to copy the design. So I've got, it almost looks like an eyebrow and an eyebrow. You could make some feather marks here. A few little marks on the side. Just want to copy it from each. If you make something on one side, you want to copy it on the other side. Here's this little face. I'm going to use this tool to draw and push in the line to show you where the wing would be. And then I'm going to flip it and try to get it on the other side as closely as I can. Here's the other wing. And maybe from the top, add some simple designs in the tail feathers. Oh, pressing this pencil worked pretty well. Now that's simply it. A clay bird, one piece of clay. You've got the entire bird in here except its legs, but it might be just sitting on a nest and tucking its legs down here. And we'll fire them and paint them. Delightful. Maybe this little piece of clay I could roll and make a little egg for it. Egg shape, circular oval. It's cracking already. Maybe with my pencil, I could really make a few more little marks of a broken egg here. And put that next to them. I'd like to make nests eventually, but this is our first step, the bird. All right, boys and girls, enjoy yourselves, and don't forget, we're making a clay bird from one piece of clay without pulling it apart. If a piece comes off, maybe you could have an egg. And we're using our pencil or a simple clay tool to add design. We're keeping it in one piece so that we can fire this and add color later. Thank you, boys and girls.